Hey guys, I welcome everyone to Sri Ram's IS. This is a special session, News in Shorts, where we will cover some important news each day from your regular newspaper. This session is brought to you by Anshum Verma. I am a practicing advocate at High Court of Delhi. Plus, I am mentoring UPSC aspirants from last 10 years. These are my credentials on the screen. So the topic for today's discussion is the silent features of the new criminal bills that has been introduced. So in the last video, I have talked about that how Amit Shah ji, which is our Union Law Minister, has introduced three important bills in our Lok Sabha that will transform the complete criminal justice system of our country. Complete criminal justice system of our country. So what he has done, he has presented some new bills that will repeal our old criminal justice system, that is your IPC, CRPC, as well as the Indian Evidence Act. These three bills has been replaced by new bills which are known as Bharatiya Nyay Sahita 23, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sahita 23, and Bharatiya Sakshay Bill 2023. So Bharatiya Nyay Sahita will replace IPC, Nagrik Samhita will replace CRPC, and Bharatiya Sakshay Bill will replace the Indian Evidence Act. So in the last video, I have discussed a detailed comparison between what is IPC, what is CRPC. So from the description, you can check the playlist where you can get all these videos. It is posted on this channel, but yesterday. In today's video, we will be discussing some new important provisions under IPC. Let's say that what are some key silent features that the government is planning to introduce through these old bills. Like in Bharatiya Nyay Sahita, earlier there were 511 sections. However, in the new Bharatiya Nyay Sahita, there are only 356 sections. That means many sections have been removed and some of them have been amended. So the complete sequencing of the sections which were earlier has been overhauled and it has been changed. Like for example, new provisions under IPC are like section 109, which states organized crimes. Like what are or the different type of organized crimes. It includes extremist ideologies. It includes human trafficking, drugs. All these type of crimes are covered under section 109. Then 110 will include petty organized crimes and organized in general. Section 111 will include offense of terrorist act. Section 150 acts the endangering sovereignty and unity of India. So like if you know that we have also, the government has also stated in the parliament that they will repeal section 124A, that is sedition. But don't think it this way, that there will be no such provision which is similar to sedition in the new Bharat Nyay Sahita. There will be, however, with a changed, changed verbatim or changed provisions under the same law or under the same section. So as of now, section 150 will deal with endangering the sovereignty and unity of India. Section 302, which was earlier murder, now has been changed in the form of snatching. So a petty crime has been added here. Then what are the other provisions, other silent features that the government has presented in this bill? So the first important provision will be, there will be a separate provision for mob lynching. So all these instances of mob lynching are on the rise. So it will be punishable with minimum 7 years to maximum life imprisonment or death penalty in case of mob lynching. Then there will be new features coming for the ex parte trial and conviction of fugitives. Like, what are ex parte trial? Where the proceedings in the court or the trials in the court is going on with only one party in the case. There is no other party. So these kind of trials are known as the ex parte trials. Then formal provision of zero FIR. Now earlier it was just a concept. Now, as per law, zero FIR will be mandated. Like, what is a zero FIR? For example, if a crime has been committed, whatsoever is the nearest police station, they will be obliged to file a zero FIR, and then they will transfer that case to the respective police station under the respective jurisdiction. So zero FIR will enable the citizen to lodge a FIR with any police station, no matter their jurisdiction. Zero FIR must be sent over to the concerned police station having jurisdiction in the alleged crime within 15 days after registration. So again, a very important provision that will further fasten up the investigation. That means you can register a zero FIR anywhere, and that zero FIR has to be transferred to the new police station wherever the crime has been alleged in a matter of 15 days. Then there are deemed sanctions to prosecute civil servants, police officers, which are accused of criminal offences in case of authorities' failure to respond within 120 days of application. This is something very important. Like, even the police officer and civil servant will have to be prosecuted in 120 days if they have committed a criminal offense. Like, for example, if a policeman has killed someone in the custody, so this is a criminal offense. So a police officer will also be prosecuted within 120 days. It is a mandate here. Some other features are like digitization of the complete judicial process, like filing up of FIR, maintaining the case diary, filing charge sheet, delivery of judgment, everything the government has done with 100% digitalization. So, which include trials, cross-examination, appeal, everything can be done via video conferencing. So this is again a very important step. Then videography while recording the statement of victims of sexual crimes are mandatory. Now imagine that it will save, it will have a safety mechanism for all those cases where generally a pressure will come from the political nexus or any kind of other kind of societal pressure, which can lead to change of the records, change of the statements. So in this case, there will be a recorded format, so the possibility of corruption will reduce. Punishment for all type of gang rapes will be minimum 20 years and maximum life imprisonment. Minimum 20 years of 20 years and life imprisonment. Then punishment for rape of minor, that will include imposition of even a death penalty. Now this is something very good. If somebody rapes a minor, a straightaway provision here is to impose a death penalty. Then this is something that it will revamp the complete process for the cases. Any case, criminal case, the charge sheet has to be mandatorily filed within 90 days of FIR. Like in the present scenario, the police takes more than 6 months, at times years, to file the charge sheet, and then charges are framed, and then the next proceedings will happen. But right now, in the new Bharat Nyaya Sanhita, 90 days will be the time given to the police. The court may extend such time if needed further to 90 days, taking the total maximum period for winding up the investigation to 180 days. That means at max, in 180 days, a case has to be thoroughly investigated. After this, further things have been changed, like framing of charges must have been done in the next 60 days of receiving the charge sheet. That means you cannot take those long dates. You have to wind up the cases in within 60 days. Judgment to be mandatorily delivered within 30 days after the conclusion of the hearing. That means after 180 days of investigation, charge sheet is filed. Next 60 days, let's say X, today is 12th of August 2023, let's suppose this date. So within 180 days, maximum charge sheet will be filed. First it will be 90 days, next 90 days will be extended only with the court's permission. After 180 days, in next 60 days, the charges will be framed, and within next 30 days, the judgment will be come, or it is mandatory to deliver the judgment. So the complete proceedings for the criminal cases will be over in, you can calculate, it is 90, 90, 180 in 360. That is in 1 year's time. So imagine that how fast will be the criminal cases resolved in our country. Some new features are that judgment to be mandatorily made available online within 7 days of pronouncement. That means, like for example, now this is also, which is very, like these were the earlier loopholes in the criminal system. Like once a judgment is given, in next 7 days, the judgment should be available online. Videography is mandatory in terms of search and seizure. That means if the police is searching and seizuring, that means they are impounding some vehicle or any individual, a videography is mandatory. Like you must have gone through all those cases and examples where the police itself will plant some drugs, and then they will claim that, oh, these drugs are as a part of search and seizure, we have recovered these drugs. So they deliberately trap those innocent people. So it will be an obligation for the authorities to videograph the search and seizure. Then forensic teams to mandatorily visit the crime scenes for offenses involving punishment more than 7 years. A forensic team will only collect the data if there is a crime that carries the punishment for more than 7 years. Then deployment of mobile forensic science laboratories at district level. So each district will have its forensic science labs, which will help to fasten the investigation by the police. So these forensic teams, what do? They showcase or they research, and then they give those scientific evidence related to the crime. No case punishable with 7 years or more shall be withdrawn without providing opportunity of hearing to the victim. That means if there are a case which has a punishment of more than 7 years, you cannot withdraw the case straight away without hearing the victim. You have to hear the victim. You cannot straight away withdraw, or like this will help to solve all those cases where out of court settlements happens. Okay, so let's say a rape victim. Let's say the alleged person X wants to compromise with the rape victim, but if the punishment is more than 7 years, you cannot withdraw the case without the permission and the consent of the victim himself. The next, the scope of summary trials expanded to offenses punishable up to 3 years. Summary trials are basically the fast track kind of courts. So where everything will happen in a very fast manner. So all those petty crimes which has a punishment up till 3 years will be included under summary trials, so that it will reduce 40% cases in the session code. Then separate harsh punishment for the organized crime. So they have recognized organized crimes as separately in this new bill. The next few provisions are separate provision for penalizing rape of a woman under false pretext of marriage, job, etc. So there will be a separate section if somebody rapes a woman on a false pretext of marriage, job, or any kind of discrimination against the women. Separate provision for chain, mobile snatching, and any kind of similar miscreant activities. Punishment for offenses against children that will enhance 7 years imprisonment to 10 years jail term. So if you are involved in a crime against a child, the punishment is 7 to 10 years in jail. Punishment of death penalty can be commuted to life imprisonment. Punishment of life can be commuted to 7 years. Punishment of 7 years can be commuted to 3 years and no less. That means the pardoning power of the president and the governor has also been challenged under this new law. Like earlier, you have seen the political favors, the misuse by the political authority, that whenever they come in power, they apply this with the governor to reduce or to commute the sentence. So this, as per the new law, is not possible now. And the last important key feature of the new provisions are videography of the vehicle seized for the involvement in any offense is mandatory. That means you will record the video and you will submit it. Whereafter, a certified copy will be submitted to the court that will enable the disposal of the seized vehicle during the pendency of the trial. That means the court can easily dispose the vehicle, at least so that it can reduce the burden on the authorities. So these are some salient features of the bills, guys. Very soon, more details of this bill will come out in public domain, and I will again make an in-depth video on each of the 3 bills. So this is just to give you a crux of what are these new criminal justice systems. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my efforts, do not forget to hit a like on this video and share this among your friends. Now, if you are preparing for UPSC CSC 24, we have launched a foundation batch for UPSC CSC 2024. So you need to just subscribe this code Shrirams. And with this code, you will get a flat 20% off on all your subscription. One such subscription will include everything: your prelims, mains, interview, optionals, essay, answer writing, mentorship. Everything is covered under one subscription at Shrirams IS. So thank you for watching. Do not forget to hit like on this video.